Hello, everyone, and welcome. Thank you all so much for joining us today for this live stream event. My name is Alexia, and I am the Program Manager of the Microsoft Reactor Toronto. I will be sharing session resources with you in the chat, but before we begin, I'd like to quickly review two items, our Code of Conduct and Event Guidelines. First, please take a moment to review our Code of Conduct. Microsoft Reactor seeks to provide a respectful environment for both our audience and presenters. We encourage engagement in the chat, but please be mindful of your commentary, remain professional and on topic. And secondly, our event guidelines. This session is being recorded and will be available on demand through the Microsoft Reactor YouTube channel in about 24 to 48 hours. I will be sharing the link in the chat for our on-demand content. And if you have not been on a live stream through YouTube before, please note that you must create an account on YouTube in order to have access and interact in the chat. You can set that up now, and if you're unable to use the chat but have questions, feel free to reach out to us through social media or on our website. Which brings us to today's session. Today is day 3 of the season of AI for developers. I'm going to bring in our speakers here, Luis and Pablito. Hello, hello. Welcome back.
Hello, hello.
Hi, Alexia. Hi, everyone. Hi, Pablito. How are you?
Well, hi, Luis, Alexia. Greetings to all the audience. Well, I'm great. Day 3. It's true, day 3. Well,
yes, we're in the
almost...
middle of this event.
Yes,
of this
exactly. Well, amazing topics, and today have different stuff about Microsoft Build announcement. Well, I'm excited about that.
Yes, we have a lot of topics to cover. So, well, as Alexia said, let's keep it friendly. Please ask your questions in the chat. We will try to answer all of them during this session. And yeah, let's get started because, well, there are several topics that we would like to cover today. Couple of months ago, there was a Microsoft Build, and there were a lot of announcements in artificial intelligence field. So we will focus on 4 of them: phi-3, GPT-4o, Azure Content Safety, and Azure AI Studio. So, well, I would like also to start with a question. Well, if you if you follow Build, what was your favorite announcement, or which one was the most relevant for you? I will get back to this question for Pablito, so there are no spoilers for this session. So yeah, let's get started with the first announcement. Let's talk a bit about phi-3, which is really great because, well, you know, there are a lot of organizations, companies, which even create LLMs, right? Large language models. So, you know, they require amounts of really high, huge amounts of data in order to train, in order to provide this knowledge to these powerful models, such as, of course, GPT models from OpenAI, GPT 3.5, 3.4, and others. And well, yeah, this leaves us with the, let's say, necessity of using these technologies with, let's say, we need to create a resource in the cloud, right? There is a subset, there is another family of models, small language models, which some of them are open source. And the idea is that we can, because of some requirements, we can take this model and even have it running locally in a local environment. Maybe we provision a service, right, which has the phi-3 model, or well, some model, let's say in general, and we can send a request to this model. We don't need to be connected, let's say, to internet. We don't need internet connection. We don't need to create anything in the cloud. So of course, that also saves costs. And well, there might be also some compliance or regulations, policies. Maybe we are working with private data from customers or from our organization. And we don't want this data to be sent over the internet, over a public network, highly confidential. So we can use these models, which we can, let's say, for example, use a Docker container or containerize it, or as I said, just deploy it locally. And we can send all the requests there. These models, a small, sorry that this title is in Spanish, but the idea is that we redefine what is possible with SLMs. They are smaller, of course. They require less compute. Still, we would need to set up, let's say, or we might need 8 gigabytes in RAM or 16 gigabytes. But I must say that for a server, probably that's let's say, fine, because usually servers, I mean physical servers, they have, or you can add a lot of memory, right, with small cost maybe. Well, of course, you can also use your own computer if you have a GPU, right, or you have a lot of RAM. That's nice. And leverage the generative AI power, right? So that's the idea. This family of models, phi-3, are open source, are developed by Microsoft, and we can have them running locally in local environments. And these families, well, there are some versions: small, medium, mini, right? Of course, this is about for example, the parameters, the number of parameters, right, that are needed to train this model. That's the size of the model. But the quality, the precision of the responses are good enough, right? So, well, here there is some comparison, some benchmark, right, with other open source models such as Llama 3 or Mistral, right, Yema. And, well, Microsoft claims, right, that there are some nice results. There is also another version, which is Vision, but Pablito will talk a bit more when we talk about GPT-4 and multimodality. But the idea with this Vision is that besides having text as input in the, let's say, traditional or most common service that you have used, right? You provide some text as input and you get text as output, you generate text, right? With Vision, you have the advantage that you can also provide an image as part of your input besides your text. And maybe you can ask some very simple things like, well, describe this image. But of course, the main advantage of LLMs or SLMs in this case is that you can use this generative AI to provide solutions, right? And well, Pablito will show some examples. So I will not spoil. Let's say you will see some use cases, right? But yeah, so this is part of the multimodality, language vision capabilities, right? And yes, something as simple as create some report from a chart. Well, yeah, and yeah, you can get a lot of text. If you have worked with ChatGPT and use the GPT-4o, yeah, you know what we are talking about, but we will show some demos later. Okay, so I said, right, that yeah, you can deploy these phi-3 models locally. So you can, usually you will, let's say, have a server, and the model will be, let's say, sorry, you will have some model as a service. So you create a backend, an API, right? And this can be consumed by mobile applications, desktop applications, or anything that you want that connects, let's say, to your intranet. Right? You can also use Olama, and I will show some examples, some demo. Olama is basically also a solution that allows you to deploy some model. It opens a port, and you can send requests to this local endpoint. I will show you. But if, on the other hand, okay, maybe you don't have enough compute power, but you want to try these models, you can also deploy it in the cloud, in Azure, right? We will mention this in Azure AI Studio, for example. You can deploy a phi-3 endpoint, right, and send your request, get the response, and use it as you want. Right? Well, this is the final part, because before I go to the demo, have you heard actually about phi-3? Let us know in the comments, right? So, well, yes, you will have some accuracy, relevant responses, and of course, you will have a reduction in cost, right? Because, well, if you have it locally, you only pay, let's say, for your server maintenance and so on, right? Okay, well, and you can also fine-tune it, actually. That's also another capability. Well, on Monday, when we have this session in Spanish, someone asked if it is possible to customize it. Yes, you can apply fine-tuning. If you want to provide your own data set and train, let's say, the last layers, right? So it focuses on your data. Yes, you can. And another advantage is that you can also apply RAG pattern. You can use prompt engineering, and everything that you have learned, all these techniques that lets you get best results or what you want using GPT models. You can do it with phi-3 because, yeah, that's independent. Because, of course, the most important part is the prompt for us as a user, right? From the user point of view. You have the prompt. If you are clear, if you provide examples or shots, right? Yes, you will definitely get better results or more accurate results. And you can provide your own data to apply a pattern, embeddings, and so on. Yes, perfect. Okay, so let's go for a demo. Anything that you would like to add, Pablito, before I show you, or while I show this part? Okay, so, well, I am, in this case, I already have a code space. By the way, you were in mute if you were talking, sorry, because I didn't see. No problem.
Sorry.
It's okay. Okay, good. Okay, so I am running phi-3 in a code space. There is the phi-3 cookbook. I will share the link in a minute, right? But the idea is that, well, you have this repository on GitHub, and you can very quickly create a code space, basically Visual Studio Code in the cloud, but you can have it running locally. And this dev container already has Olama installed, right? And this one allows us to set, let's say, some kind of server or to run the model locally, and we can send requests over there. So as you can see, I already have it running. I have this this command, Olama run and phi-3 mini. And this actually opened a port, which is the last one. But the idea is that in this terminal, well, yeah, I can send a request. So, for example, create a poem about AI, right? Something very classic, right? And well, it will take some time, of course, to generate. Well, you see that it didn't take too long. On Monday, it was a bit slow. But yeah, here we have some text generated by this AI, right? And well, I could provide a better prompt about the length, about how many, let's say, things I would like here. But yeah, it works. Let's say we got some results. And as I said, well, while this is still working, this cookbook also, let's say, explains how you can use it with the OpenAI library, with the SDK. For example, here we have a Python example. Well, it is still loading. Sorry for that. So the idea is that, okay, yeah, I already have this running, right? So, okay, so I provide just the model name. I install the libraries. They should be installed already. So yeah, it's all ready. So I am just running this to confirm. And please check that here we are using the classic OpenAI library, but we are not connecting, or we are not sending our request to a public endpoint. Please notice that we are using a local port, local server also, right? Local host, and this port, version 1, and of course, no key needed. Because yeah, we can provide our own gateway, let's say, if you are using one. In this case, again, we are not going to send requests to GPT models. I set the model name as phi-3 mini because that's the one that is running locally in this container. A code space is a container. It's a really nice topic if you can learn about it. And well, there are two endpoints, right? Completions and chat. Well, yeah. And in this case, we are using chat completions. Actually, phi-3, the parameters are quite the same as you know from GPT 3.5 or GPT-4. You can see that there is temperature, there is model, the number of answers that you want, and we also have the array of messages with the roles, system, user, assistant, and the content. So we are sending, okay, in this case, write a haiku about hungry cats. And the system role content is, you are a helpful assistant, right? And we will get the response at some point, right? Yeah, here we have, right? Something quite simple. Text was generated. So I have shown you two ways to test phi-3. Well, one is in the terminal using Olama, or now that we have it running locally, we can use the OpenAI library. But we can also use REST API. So in this case, I have this extension, Thunder Client. It's like Postman, right? But I have it, let's say, here already in VS Code. So as you can see, I can send a request to this local endpoint, right? You remember the port. This is the same port that you saw in the notebook. And well, I am using directly API/chat. That's the model name. And yeah, messages. So you see, and this is a post request, by the way, right? So you see, we have the body. It is exactly the same that I provided in the using the library, but now let's say using the REST API. Maybe you are developing some application. We are not using like Python. Okay, so we can send the request to this endpoint, right? Well, and at some point we will get, of course, the result. Yeah, it didn't take too long, but let me see if I can show the full screen of this part because it's a bit hard. Okay, yeah, to work with zoom in. Okay, yes. So you see the response, right? This is the model, and this is the response as an AI developed to provide accurate and helpful information. Blah blah blah. Okay, and well, so we have it locally. No cost. The data or the requests are sent to our server or compute, right? Personal computer, whatever, right? So, well, this is something really nice. What do you think about it? Let us know in the comments. Pablito, what do you say? What do you think?
Well, that you mentioned, it's operate effectively in offline environments where data privacy is critical or the connectivity is restrict or limited, and generate more consistent, accurate and contextually relevant results with an expand content windows. Well, another thing that mentioned about phi-3 is deploy at the edge to deliver faster response. Well, you can use, for example, GPT model and use phi-3 for simple tasks to reduce resource requirements and lower costs, well, without compromise the performance. It's very important, this. Well, if you want to switch to my screen, another thing, they increase the performance by tuning model with domain-specific data. You have the possibility to fine-tune this model. Okay, perfect. Well, this is the Llama website. You have the possibility to download the Llama, and then you can find different models, LLM models, and a small language model. In this case, well, you have, this is the library. You have all these models. In this case, we will use phi-3. Well, only you need to install the model, and in your command console, you type Olama run phi-3, and that's it. Only you can start to using the model locally. For example, uh, what what is AI? And the model running locally. Maybe take some minutes because I have another client that I will show you. Well, give me the answer. Let me zoom in. Well, give me a long answer. Is perfect.
Yeah. In
You have
general,
another,
SLMs
yes,
and LLMs, they want to talk. They want to say everything. So it is good, right, to set an output limit. But yeah.
exactly. Well,
Okay.
let me show you. You have another option. Install, in this case, LM Studio. Here you find a lot of models, among models about, well, multimodal models, LLM models, small models. In my case, I have different models. For example, all this list, Mistral. But in this case, I select phi-3. Well, the same. I can what is AI, and the model run locally. I Let me show you. I set my GPU. Yes. Uh, And another thing that I want to show you when stop the model or type, well, stop generating. Here you have the possibility to run your local server. Okay, you click start and copy this code, and that is you start using this model phi-3 or whatever you want, another model, run locally. Okay, depends the model, depends the use CPU, depends the memory RAM. Well, you have different configuration. But in this case, with phi-3, I don't remember well, seven gigabytes. Let me find. Where is the?
Yeah,
Well,
there are
it's not.
some recommended requirements, right? But by the way, you mentioned
Yes.
something important, and like running in the server. And sorry for the interruption. It is important to mention that despite these models are small, they can be used for in production. There is, let's say, of course, you can test its quality, you can compare it against other models, but they are a proven solution. They have also, let's say, Microsoft has implemented a responsible AI, so they have been tested, let's say, for different use cases. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, now we we run locally the phi-3, and you have the option in this case run this model in the AI Studio or in the cloud.
In the
And
cloud.
here, for example, let me find an image here.
In this case, you are using GPT phi-3 Vision, right? Which we
Exactly. Yes.
mentioned. This
This
is the example. Okay, so you are providing some picture, right?
exactly. This is the multimodality. This is a good announcement because it's a small language model using multimodality, and it's excellent. I will describe this image. Let's see. Well, the image show a red car with visible damage on the passenger side, including a large dent and scratch. Okay, it's amazing this because
Mm-hmm.
we have a small model understand image, and well, that you mentioned, your input is image and text or only image, and you start resolve another use case in your local environment, or on the cloud too. But well, here I am in the model catalog in the Azure AI Studio. Okay. Well, here we have a lot of models, but in this case, we select the phi-3. And well, in this part, you can see the different
Yeah,
characteristic
the
or metrics,
information.
that
Mm-hmm.
information about, well, the model, the data set, the benchmark, and the one. This is the responsibility and consideration, AI consideration, that is more important. Well, give different examples and the code to well how
Yeah, for
to use
input
this
output.
model.
The
Exactly.
for to use the model, yeah, for consumption. Yes,
Yes.
in this case, in Azure AI Studio, this is what we mentioned during the presentation, that we can also deploy a cloud endpoint, let's say public endpoint, where we can send our requests to. And the advantage of Azure AI Studio, well, we will mention a bit later, is that we can provision dedicated, let's say, compute resource with a specific, we select from family of computes, like virtual machines, let's say. They have a specific RAM, resource, size, disk storage, and so on. Or we can use a serverless consumption model, which is cheaper, but well, Okay, so yeah.
Yes. Well, maybe we will switch to GPT-4o.
Yeah.
Let me start with the playground.
Mhm.
Well, first we need to deploy the model. Remember the previous episode? We explained the playground. You need to create the resource, then deploy the model, and then you can use the model. Okay. Well, I have an amount deployed here, but well, I will use this GPT 4o. Yes. Um, I will talk about this model. The introduction of GPT-4o opens up numerous possibilities for business across the various sectors. For example, um, by integrating diverse data input, GPT-4o enable more dynamic and comprehensive customer support interaction. Additionally, GPT-4o have the capability to process and analyze different types of data to enhance decision making and uncover deeper insights. I will show you some demos. And it's also utilize the generative capabilities. GPT-4o create engaging and diverse content format that a wide range of the consumer preference. Well, here we have this deploy. I will use in the chat. Let me find clear chat. Oh, I don't have ability. Let me refresh. Yeah, perfect. Well, let me find this image. For example, I need the answer. I have this image. Well, in this image, we can see two questions. Yes, how long is this age, and what is the angle here? And the model understand only with put a simple text or simple prompt and with the image, and then the model understand the query and give me the answer and find, for example, the hypotenuse, and then find the angle and give me the answer. Okay, it's amazing this model because this modality is and you imagine the different uses case that you can achieve with that. Let me show you, for example, another another example. Let me copy. This is the prompt. You are AI assistant that write the day listing for vacation rental property. Summarize in 3 sentences the optimal feature of the listing based on only what is visible in the image. This is important. What is visible in the image? And conclude with 1 sentence on why the customer should book today. Remember the prompt engineer? Well, it's a way to introduce the personalization of this model. And maybe take some second. Here. Well, the stunning vacation rental feature spacious room with private balconies offering picturesque view of the lush tropical garden and inviting pool. Wow. And book today to security your spot in this paradise and start making comfortable memories. And well, it's incredible. I create one paragraph in using this image. Well, this is in the playground, but let me show you another example, another demo here. Well, this is a notebook. Let me run this. Basically, like here is for, well, analyze image, but then I will show you to analyze the PDF document. Let me run this. Well, here you are a helpful assistant to analyze image. Okay, this is the system message. Here we have a receipt in Microsoft in the Microsoft Experience Center in the store. And well, in this case, let me run this. How many items and there are discounts and what is the total amount? And well, I pass the image to the model and then in my prompt I put different queries or questions, and the model is not only a OCR understand the image and then the image respond me with the answer that in the prompt I indicated. For example, number of item, there are free items, then the discounts, and then the total amount. Here is 76.74. Here is the results. And well, this is amazing because you can chat with your image in other words. Let me
ask questions about it. Yes, so it can, yeah, not only detect the text but answer questions about it.
exactly. For example, here I have a contract in Spanish, and I don't know, or this contract is in French, and I don't understand French. And okay, I need to analyze this contract and pass the contract, or in this case is a page. And then, well, sure, I can help you to analyze this content. Here, here are the key points and blah 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 blah. And for example, if I need for a specific, I need to analyze better compensation. For example, I need only a specific part for this contract. Imagine this use case. And this summary highlight may inspect related online document, but let me change that. I need.
What can you tell me or some information? Yeah.
Yes. I changed the prompt.
Yes, in the end, it's all about the prompt.
Let me try. Yes. Yeah. Here explaining the variable compensation. Okay. And extract the information. I don't know, have an idea about the contract, but well, for example, imagine that remember the pattern rack when we extract all the data in different documents, and then you can chunks the data, and then embedding this data and then save in the vector database. Well, here we add to another layer to extract a specific data for a specific documents, and only this data then say to the or create embedding for this data, and then to say to the vector database. Okay. Well, it's another topic that we keep in mind when you need to resolve problem or for your use case. This model not only understand text. Here we have the possibility to understand image, or in this case, for example, I can use a PDF or document or Word document. Let me, for example, this is a medical summary condition. Where is? This is an image. Let me try with a PDF. This is this PDF. I don't have idea this PDF, but British Open University Media. Look at it. The quality of the of the document is
Yeah,
not
some
for
scan.
yes. And let me back here. And for example, could you explain this? For example, I passed this document. How many page? 7 page in this case. And then, well, I pass this document to the model. Another thing to keep in mind. The window context is, where is the window context? Sorry, let me find.
Yeah,
Here.
should be something like
Should,
16. Okay,
this is
yeah.
the window context. For example, you have your document is more bigger. Maybe you modify that to 4,000, for example. Okay. Well, here we have the explanation about this document. This document is a result of summary of a reported British Open University, and well, he is blaming or is split in different part, in title and author, institution, publication date, availability. Well, explaining all the document, or a big summary or excellent summary, and then we can query with this document. For example, if
When it
I
was
need
published or something.
exactly, or I don't know. Do you find some insights to relate it with another topic, blah blah blah? Well, you depend the use case, you have the possibility to start with chat with your image or your PDF directly, yes, using this GPT-4o, obviously for a specific use case. Let me show you the last demo. Perfect. Well, here I imagine I run all this. Perfect. Well, here in this demo, I use GPT-4 with Vision, but it's the same if you use GPT-4 Omni or O. Remember the episode that we talk about prompt engineer, and here, well, here the idea is, okay, you are an expert in tourism and travel, specializing on discovering and describing vacation, destination, blah, blah, blah. I give different personalization here. And then, okay, I give the structure that I want the information show. And you respond with your analysis on the following field for a specific vacation destination. I want to destination, location, main attraction, recommended activities, for example, transportation, estimated budget is important, destination summary. Okay. Next, include stories. Write 5 short stories that traverse my experience at this destination. The Twitter post, create a post promoting the destination with relevant hashtag. And Instagram story, provide an idea for an Instagram story that capture a typical day at the destination. The output should be a number list with bullet points. Okay, perfect. Well, look at this. Max token, 4,000. In this case, temperature, remember the temperature, in this case is 0.7, is near to 1. It's more creative, this model. And well, another thing, important thing, the status quo, 429. Remember when
Yes, we mentioned it
use,
last week.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, all topics is important. The episode number 1 and today, well, because all topic is related to when you achieve or when you create a application or a POC for a specific use case. Perfect. Well, I have this. Oh, let me switch this.
Suffering
This is
in the beach.
yeah,
You are
exactly.
suffering.
Yes. Well, destination tropical beach paradise location, well, Caribbean or similar tropical region. The model understand because the picture you can see the palms, sea, sands. Well, okay. Main attraction. Uh, he put different main attraction, recommend activities, okay, snorkel, scuba diving, seafood dining by the beach. Yes, it's a good activity. Well, the same with, for example, this image is in Argentina, Perito Gracial Moreno, in location Patagonia, Argentina. The model understand where is specific because remember this model have a open world recognition, understand everything, and the model with this image understand. Okay, this is Patagonia, Argentina. This is Perito Moreno Gracial. It's amazing. Well, put the main attraction, the history, for example, a travel sphere glimpse of the glacier, immense blue spains, feeling the crisp air, and hearing the tunnel roof crack of ice. Well, you can have different ideas for create the history, the history, the Twitter post. Yes, here the Twitter post and add the hashtag too. The last point is the idea for Eastern story. Morning, capture the sunrise over the Patagonian steppe, transition to the first view of the glacier. Okay, well, it's amazing. Here I have a gradual web app using the same idea. Let me run this.
It's
Perfect.
amazing
Running.
what you can do. Yes, and well, just to like add a bit, we can also use it maybe later with audio because, well, so far the API allows us to work with images, but the idea is that at some point we could also use speech, audio to text, or text to speech, right? So, yeah.
Yes. Exactly.
Okay, so we have this
Well,
nice
well,
website.
here we have the demo application for our POC, for example. And well, we have the destination, the transportation, accommodation, different points. Here the making content. Here we have the history, the Twitter post. Well, the same, but in this case using only image, and with prompt engineer
From
we can start create our application or our POC to show our clients or our project for everything. And well, uh, that is this is the last demo in, using multimodal LLMs.
Yeah, so you can see in maybe 1 year, 1 year and a half, how these GPT models have like evolved. At the beginning, we have only text in, text out, but
Yeah.
now we can work, or of course, text in, images out with DALI models, but now images, video, audio, right, speech can be part of your input. GPT-4o was mentioned before built by OpenAI, and most probably you watch the demos where these guys were talking to an application. Actually, you can install it. There is a mobile application from OpenAI, and you can use GPT-4o. Of course, all you need is a ChatGPT account. Then you are able to talk to this application, and the application can answer, can reply using a neural voice, artificial voice. This API is not, the API part for that is not available yet, but hopefully soon. On the other hand, we can also, if we are using Azure, right, connect with AI services in order
Mhm.
to provide these uh, text-to-speech capabilities. Well, but yeah, of course, you can see how powerful is this application. I must say, well, if you remember, probably, if you have worked with the preview versions, there was a GPT-4 version known as Turbo Vision, and
Mhm.
you could set or prepare images and in order to apply the RAG pattern. You know, the typical RAG pattern with embeddings, with search. Usually we provide documents, PDF files. But with GPT-4 Turbo with Vision, you could also, maybe you have, you could also provide images and generate the embeddings from it and use it as part of your solution. Unfortunately, this model, Turbo with Vision, is not available anymore. In the end, it was a preview version. Maybe later we will be able to apply this RAG pattern. I think it is, but I need to study or check the documentation. Like if you could prepare or use your own data set in order to apply the RAG pattern. But it works with this kind of images, your own images. But now maybe we would like to provide right our own data set. Well, we will explore a bit, right? You have another nice example there.
Yes, yes, it's about this character, Forrest
Yes.
Gump. And here, well, okay, in my prompt, could you tell me some phrase about this character? And the model understand who is
Who is
the
it? Yeah, it
character because
recognizes it.
remember, yes, well, this character is famously known for the phrase, life is like a box of chocolate. You never know what you are going to get. This character is depicted sitting on a bench, often associated with sharing stories about his life with instruction. Well, explaining the movie. And the
Yeah, of
suitcase
course.
beside him suggests he's an journey or has been traveling. Okay, I'm explaining this part of the movie or the situation. And well, it's only for play, but I had different demos in my LinkedIn. I remember when this in May this model, we had the possibility to play with this model when I create different demos about using GPT for with Vision and GPT-4o. Well, yes, it's amazing because in few months ago only we can input only text. Now we can use image or PDF or another extension. Well, you think in different uses case that we can use this model. Is amazing. Another thing is more cheaper. For example, if we compare GPT 4o versus GPT 4 for Vision, uh, 6 times is more
It is six
faster.
times faster. It is six
Faster,
times
exactly.
faster and 12 times cheaper.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Well, the recommendation is okay. Use GPT 4o. If you using GPT-4 with Vision, well, move to GPT-4o because for this reason, the the velocity and the cost. And well, another thing, last week, now we have the GPT-4 O Mini that is similar but is more cheaper. And well, this model we can compare with GPT 3.5. And well, my recommendation is if you have a POC or you have application using GPT 3.5, well, in the near future, try to migrate to GPT-4o mini. That the performance and the accuracy is better and is more cheaper.
Yes. You can use it then test different models. Well, we are almost out of time. Please, if you have any questions, let us know in the comments. There were some really nice, interesting questions. I already answered them in the chat, but well, we can talk maybe in 2-3 minutes about Azure AI Studio. This is a platform, this is a website which covers a lot of AI technologies. If you have worked with Machine Learning Studio, you will find the UI very similar. First of all, you do not need an Azure account in order to test, navigate through Azure AI Studio. There are some relevant parts. One of them is the model catalog. In the model catalog, you will find several models from, yes, Azure OpenAI or from OpenAI, some technologies from Microsoft, even the phi-3 models that we mentioned, but also Microsoft has partnered with Hugging Face, sorry, and you can also find some models in the catalog. You can also find Llama models, Mistral models, and others. You can read a lot of information, technical details, how many parameters were used to train a specific model. This model is used for what purpose, like text classification, image generation, and others. You can also compare models. There are some benchmarks. You can filter, and and you can do this without signing in. You can even, in some cases, try it. You can provide some input and get some output, right? For some quick test. However, if you sign in, I mean, use your Azure account, then you can provision, you can create model as a service solution, right? You can follow some wizard and you can deploy the model and have an API, a backend, let's say, solution. You will get an endpoint where you can send your requests to and get some responses. One of the advantages is that Azure AI Studio can be used as an ML ops, let's say, solution, because you can create pipelines that deploy some models. You can change or switch between different versions. You know, there are GPT-4 and there is, I don't know, 11.04 and some different versions of the model. There is also prompt flow, where you can have different versions of prompts, or also change, let's say, as part of your solution, you can change the model. You can use, for some part, GPT 3.4, you can use, 3.5 or 4, compare the results using different prompts. And well, if you provision an Azure AI Studio, well, you will see that there will be a hub. Actually, you can consider this as a hub, storage account, key vault, and also an Azure AI resource. The idea of this Azure AI resource is that you will have different endpoints, let's say for speech or for vision, but you will use the same key, right? So you are sharing. It's like a multi-service account, right? And finally, and this was related with one question, these models that you deploy as a service, they will be running on, you have two options. You can provision a dedicated compute. Basically, it is a virtual machine, but you do not, let's say, connect with using remote connection, for example, or some application. No, this virtual machine with a specific RAM memory, disk size, and other characteristics. We'll have a server, and the server is running the model. The idea, again, you send a request and you get some responses. Of course, some models might require more compute, more memory, because they are huge LLMs or they require some GPU, right? And you are charged, you are billed by the time your instance is running. You can stop it at some point, and the cost will be reduced. So you will be paying only for hosting, let's say, but this is cheaper. You can delete, and yeah, then of course the charge stops. And there is also a serverless mode. The serverless mode, if you have worked with Azure Functions, basically you will have your endpoint, and only when it is running, when it is processing a request, you will be charged. Then at some point, let's say the model will sleep, or the deployment will sleep, and when a new request arrives, it takes some time to wake up, let's say, right? And well, this was just some brief summary about Azure AI Studio. But here, yes, you can do. Also, it looks similar as Azure OpenAI Studio, but that studio focused only on Azure OpenAI. Here you have more capabilities, right? So yeah, we can explore this also. We can take some minutes of the next lesson, because Azure AI Studio is quite a powerful website. Next time we will be talking about Semantic Kernel, but I think we can take some minutes to do a quick tour about Azure AI Studio. Let us know in the comments if you have worked with it, if you are interested. You can see Pablito showing that we can have deployments. We can use the playground. We can do a lot of things there. So, any final thoughts? Any final thoughts, Pablito?
No, maybe next episode we'll explain Azure AI Studio. We can upload our data, then we have the possibility to create the index using the embedded model, and you can use Azure AI Search, and then you have the possibility to use your data. Yes, for example, this is a index that create previously. Where, for example, tell me about. Let me.
Yep. So you can use the RAG pattern there.
Yes, but let me tell me about. Yes, this is a RAG pattern, and well, it's not working here. I don't know. And then you have the possibility to evaluate at the prompt flow and launch, yes, to deploy to app services, and then you have your POC in app services to use for in your tenant, and it's perfect for the POC to start the project. Okay, this is the problem. Let me hide. Tell me.
Don't worry.
Last shot. Last shot.
Okay.
Yes. Oh,
awesome.
Yes. Well, here the pattern rack. Remember, here we have the possibility to use the citation. Yes. And well, here.
So we are certain that this output was generated from an internal document and not based on the general knowledge of the GPT model. Perfect. Yes. Nice example of grounding. Awesome. Well, Thank you, Pablito. So looking forward to the next one. Join us same time on Wednesday, or if you want to practice your Spanish, you can also join us on Monday, also at the same time. Thank you very much, Pablito. Thank you very much, everyone who joined, and thank you very much, Alexia, who was helping in the chat as well.
Thank you all. Take care.
See you.